Hello and welcome, chosen ones. The shift in you is undeniable, a force so profound it leaves no room for doubt. No longer shrinking to fit into spaces that were never meant for you, you now take up the room you deserve, unapologetically and without hesitation. The version of you that once sought validation is gone, replaced by someone who knows their worth without needing anyone else to confirm it. This isn't rebellion, it's reclamation. You've stepped into your power, and it radiates in every word you speak, every choice you make, every step you take. The world is adjusting to this new you, a version that doesn't just demand respect, but commands it effortlessly. This isn't a moment, it's a movement, a declaration that you will never again settle for less than you deserve. There's no denying it now. You've stepped into a power that feels almost otherworldly, a force that pulses through you like a living, breathing thing. It's in the way you stand taller, shoulders back, unafraid to take up space. It's in the calm certainty of your words, steady and unshaken, each one a testament to the truth you no longer hide. The shift isn't just in how you see yourself, but in how the world reacts to you. They feel it, the unyielding strength, the unspoken confidence, the quiet but undeniable declaration that you are no longer someone to be underestimated. You've become untouchable, not because you've changed who you are, but because you've finally embraced it. The version of you that once dimmed your light to make others feel at ease is nothing but a distant memory, a ghost of who you used to be. Now you blaze unapologetically, a supernova of self-worth and unshakable confidence. Your energy is undeniable, raw, unfiltered, and impossible to ignore. They can't look away, even as your brilliance blinds them, because you are the embodiment of what they feared most, someone who no longer seeks their approval. You've shed the weight of people-pleasing and replaced it with an unrelenting commitment to your truth. No more shrinking, no more silencing yourself, no more sacrificing your peace for their comfort. This is your era, bold, radiant, and unstoppable. Look at them now, scrambling, stumbling, desperate to make sense of the shift they never saw coming. They built their world on the assumption that you'd always stay small, always bend, always give in. But now, their carefully constructed plans are unraveling, thread by thread, because you've stopped playing along. They thought they understood you, thought they had you figured out, but they never realized your kindness was a strength, not a weakness. It was a gift you chose to give, not a debt you owed. And now, as you reclaim your power, they're left grappling with the reality that the version of you they relied on no longer exists. You're no longer shrinking, you're expanding, unapologetically, and they'll just have to learn to live with it. You've stepped into a reality where their expectations no longer define you, where their chaos no longer consumes you, and their opinions no longer hold weight. You've cut the strings they used to pull, leaving them floundering in a world where you're no longer their crutch, their scapegoat, or their emotional sponge. The look of disbelief on their faces when they realize that you've detached, that you've reclaimed your energy, is a masterpiece of its own. It's not cruelty, it's liberation. You've chosen yourself, and that choice holds a value beyond anything they could ever offer. In this new world, your peace is your currency, and you're spending it wisely. That moment when their tricks fall flat, when their carefully crafted guilt trips and sly manipulations meet the unyielding wall of your indifference, it's a revelation. You've become untouchable, immune to their games, and it terrifies them. They relied on your compliance, on your willingness to bend, to bleed, to break for their comfort. But now, you stand firm, your energy no longer theirs to drain. Let them mourn the loss of the version of you they could control, the one who apologized for existing, who gave until there was nothing left. That version is gone, ashes scattered to the winds of transformation. In its place stands someone untamed, unapologetic, and fiercely whole. They can no longer feast on your light, for you've reclaimed it, and it burns brighter than ever, untouchable and free. They constructed their lives on the shaky pillars of your sacrifice, never once considering what would happen if those pillars crumbled. Their peace came at the expense of your chaos, their freedom at the cost of your captivity. But now, the foundation has cracked, and they're left scrambling to hold up the weight of their own lives. They've forgotten how to stand on their own, how to carry their own burdens, because you were always there, silently bearing the load. Now, as you step away, reclaiming the energy they so thoughtlessly consumed, they're left floundering, exposed, and unprepared. Your absence isn't just a void, it's a reckoning, a mirror showing them the fragility of a life built on someone else's strength. And as they falter, you rise, finally free of the weight that was never yours to carry. They call it selfish because they've never seen someone prioritize their own worth without guilt. They call it cruel because they've mistaken your boundaries for betrayal. They call it unrecognizable, as if that's an insult, when in truth, it's a testament to your growth. Yes, you've changed like the tides that refuse to stay still, like the seasons that bloom and wither and bloom again, like a star collapsing inward only to explode into something infinite. Your transformation is not for their comfort or their approval, it's for you. And while they struggle to define it, to understand it, to accept it, you're already soaring in a direction they'll never follow, free, radiant, and untouchable. While they were busy underestimating you, you were busy rewriting your story. They thought their words, their doubts, and their attempts to hold you back would define you, but instead, they became the fuel for your fire. You didn't just rise, you soared, quietly and relentlessly, building a foundation so strong that no storm could shake it. Now your success is a mirror they can't avoid, reflecting everything they chose not to see in you. They're grasping at straws, trying to decode your journey, hoping to skip the struggle and claim the reward. But what they don't understand is that your glow isn't something they can replicate. It's the result of battles fought in silence, of sacrifices made in the dark, of a resilience they will never comprehend. Let them watch, let them wonder, let them wish. Your story isn't theirs to copy, it's yours to own. Your confidence is a revolution, a quiet yet unshakable force that dismantles the power they once held over you. It's not loud or boastful, it doesn't need to be. It's the kind of confidence that speaks volumes in silence, that commands respect without demanding it. It's rooted in the battles you've fought and won within yourself, in the scars you've embraced as proof of your resilience. They can't manipulate you anymore, can't twist your worth to suit their needs, because you finally realize that your value was never theirs to define. This confidence is freedom. It's the liberation of knowing you owe no one an explanation, no one an apology for being exactly who you are. And that terrifies them, because they've lost the ability to dim your light. You shine now, unapologetically, and there's nothing they can do but watch. Your clarity now is your superpower, a lens that cuts through the fog of their pretenses and exposes everything they tried to hide. The manipulations they once wielded so effortlessly now seem clumsy and obvious, like a magician whose tricks you've figured out. You see the cracks in their smiles, the envy in their congratulations, the discomfort in their praise. Their attempts to keep you small, to tether you to their approval, no longer hold any weight. You've outgrown their games, their fake concern, their veiled barbs. Now their actions don't confuse you, they confirm what you've always suspected. And while they scramble to maintain their facade, you walk forward with unshakable certainty, leaving their glass walls to shatter behind you. Without fanfare, without drama, without a backward glance, because you finally understood that not everyone deserves access to you. The energy vampires, the manipulators, the ones who thrived on your guilt and self-doubt, they thrived because you let them. But not anymore. You didn't need their permission to leave, didn't need their understanding, because your peace isn't up for negotiation. You cut them off cleanly, like removing a splinter that had been festering for too long. It wasn't easy, but it was necessary. A declaration that your love, your time, your energy are sacred. And now, as they sit in disbelief, scrambling to process the fact that you're no longer their safety net, you're finally free, lighter, stronger, and untouchable. They tried every tactic in the book, flooding your inbox with apologies that carried no weight, creating chaos to pull you back into their orbit, sending others to pry into your life under the guise of concern. But you've seen it all before, and you're no longer moved by their theatrics. You've stepped into a new chapter, one where your boundaries are firm and your energy is protected. You've found your people now, the ones who hold space for your growth, who cheer you on without envy, who bring peace instead of drama. And while they're still playing their tired old games, you're thriving in a world they can no longer touch. You've outgrown the noise, and the silence you've left behind speaks louder than any confrontation ever could. Chosen ones, pause for a moment and take action. Subscribe to the channel and share this message with those who need it, because you are standing on the threshold of greatness, a place where possibility meets purpose, and the path forward is illuminated by the fire within you. This is no accident. It is the culmination of every moment that has shaped you, every challenge that has refined you, and every dream that has called you to rise. The journey ahead is not for those who waver, but for those who dare to claim their power and step boldly into the unknown. You are not just a participant in this transformation, you are its catalyst, the force capable of creating waves of change that ripple far beyond what you can see. Your light is fearless, piercing through doubt and inspiring others to find their own strength. This is your time to rise, to act, to lead with unwavering belief in the vision that only you can bring to life. Together, we are not just shaping the future, we are becoming it, one courageous step at a time. The world is ready for your brilliance, and the moment to shine is now. They thought they could press rewind on a story you've already closed, that their sudden epiphany could undo the damage they so carelessly inflicted. But you've moved on, not just from them, but from the version of yourself that would have entertained their empty promises, their declarations of change, their newfound admiration, their desperate confessions. They're not your concern anymore. You've built a life so full, so rich with self-love and growth, that their absence feels like a gift, not a loss. The door they once waltzed through is locked now, not out of spite, but because your peace is sacred. You've learned that closure isn't something they can give you, it's something you give yourself. And as they linger in the shadows of regret, you stand in the light of your own becoming, untouchable, unbothered, and entirely free. Their apologies, their pleas, their sudden realizations, they're not for you, they're for themselves. They want to rewrite the narrative, to paint themselves as the hero seeking redemption, but you've outgrown their stories. You've stopped sacrificing your peace to soothe their guilt, stopped giving away pieces of yourself to make them feel whole. Their words hold no power now. Their regret is not your responsibility. You've learned that your worth was never tied to their recognition, that their inability to value you says more about them than it ever did about you. So let them sit with the weight of their choices. Let them watch as you rise higher than they ever imagined. You owe them nothing, not your forgiveness, not your attention, not even a response. Their chapter in your life is over, and you've moved on to a story they'll never be part of. They throw words like daggers, hoping one will find its mark, but you've long since outgrown their reach. They stir up whispers in the shadows, desperate to pull you back into their chaos, but you remain untouchable, standing in the light of your own peace. Every attempt to provoke you, to drag you down, only highlights the distance you've traveled and the growth they can't comprehend. You don't react because you don't need to. Your silence speaks volumes. Your stillness radiates strength. They can test your armor all they want, but it's forged from lessons they'll never understand. You've become a force they can't shake, a presence they can't ignore, and the truth they can't escape. Let them flail against the walls of your boundaries. Their efforts are futile. You are unshakable, untouchable, and entirely free. They're lost in a battle they've already lost, swinging wildly at shadows of the past, unable to grasp that the version of you they once controlled no longer exists. Their attempts to manipulate, to stir chaos, fall flat against the unshakable foundation of your growth. You've become untouchable, a reflection of strength they can't distort, a mirror that forces them to confront their own emptiness. While they spiral in frustration, you remain steady, your peace unbroken, your focus unyielding. You've transcended their games, their drama, their need for control, and in doing so, you've left them behind in a world they can no longer drag you into. The person they once knew is a memory, and the person you've become is a force they'll never understand. They can't help themselves. Your transformation has become their fixation, your growth a riddle they can't solve. The same people who once dismissed you, doubted you, or even mocked you, now hang on your every move, searching for clues to a journey they didn't believe was possible. You've become their unspoken inspiration, their silent obsession, the proof that change is real and power can be reclaimed. They analyze your confidence, your glow, your unapologetic presence, trying to piece together the steps you took to rise from the ashes. Your name lingers in rooms you've never entered. Your story is retold by mouths that once doubted you, and your energy reverberates in spaces you've never graced. You are the evidence they can't ignore, the proof that reinvention is not just a dream, but a reality for those bold enough to claim it. And while they watch, you keep rising, unbothered, unstoppable, and entirely free. You've become a force of nature, effortlessly commanding attention simply by being. Your presence speaks louder than words, a quiet yet undeniable power that shifts the energy of every space you enter. It's not about perfection or performance, it's about truth, the raw, unfiltered essence of who you are. You've shed the layers of expectation, the need for approval, the weight of playing small, and what remains is pure, magnetic authenticity. It's a kind of power that can't be replicated, a light that can't be dimmed, a frequency that resonates far beyond the surface. This transformation isn't just something you feel, it's something the world feels. It's in the way opportunities find you, the way abundance flows to you, the way people are drawn to you without even knowing why. You are a living testament to the power of alignment, proof that when you step fully into yourself, the universe rises to meet you. Money now finds its way to you with ease, as if it's drawn to the undeniable energy of your self-worth. You are no longer bending, shrinking, or overcompensating to prove your value. You simply embody it. The universe recognizes this shift, rewarding you with opportunities, abundance, and the kind of wealth that aligns with your elevated mindset. It's not just about material gain, it's about the way you carry yourself now. Your confidence radiates in every movement, every word, every glance. You no longer apologize for taking up space, for shining brightly, for being unapologetically you. Your presence is magnetic, your posture tall and unwavering, your voice steady and filled with conviction. You laugh freely, love deeply, and move through life with a sense of belonging that no one can take from you. You've stopped asking for permission to exist, and in doing so, you've claimed everything that was always meant to be yours. They can sense it before they can name it, a shift so profound it leaves them curious, even uneasy. They search for something tangible to explain it, but it's not your hair, your clothes, or even your smile. It's the way you carry yourself now, unshackled and unapologetic, as if you've stepped into a version of yourself they never knew existed. You've released the weight of their opinions, their expectations, their need to define you, and in doing so, you've redefined yourself. Your peace radiates like a shield, untouchable and unyielding, a sanctuary built brick by brick through self-discovery and resilience. Not everyone is invited into this sacred space anymore. Your energy is too precious, too rare, too costly to be spent on those who bring chaos or doubt. You've become a mystery, not because you've changed who you are, but because you've finally become exactly who you were always meant to be. You've become a fortress of self-respect, unshakable and unwavering, standing tall in the power of your own worth. The days of overextending yourself, of giving without limits, of bending to fit into spaces that were never meant for you, are long gone. Now, every interaction is intentional, every connection purposeful, and every moment of your time sacred. You no longer chase validation because your life is the proof, the glow on your face, the calm in your presence, the strength in your voice. You've built a life that reflects your values, and those who wish to be part of it must rise to meet your standards. There's no need for explanations or apologies. Your energy speaks louder than words, and only those who truly see your worth are granted access to the privilege of being near you.